Hey, I'm Tyson from Tooz and T. We make this cool circle of fifths music theory songwriting tool and chord wheel. You know, no big deal, but you should probably pick one up. Okay, today we're talking major and minor chords. What's the difference? Let's discuss. All right, when people talk about major and minor chords, you'll often hear things like major chords are bright, minor chords are dark. Major chords are happy, minor chords are sad. And this is all true. However, these are generalizations about the overall sound and the emotional impact they may have on the listener, both of which are super important, by the way, but it doesn't quite cover the technical difference between the two. And that, my friends, all comes down to one little note. So let's go ahead and build a couple scales, dig into it, see what's going on here. So we've already covered the C major and A minor scales a couple of times. If you recall, they are relative to one another in the sense that they both contain all the same notes and you can build all the same triads from either one of those scales. But to really zoom in on the difference between our major and minor chords, we need to look at scales that are parallel to one another. We used the E major scale in our last video, so let's go ahead and piggyback on that, and we'll throw down both the E major scale and the E minor scale. So as always, when building our major and minor diatonic scales, we will start with our chromatic scale. The interval pattern for a major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And the interval pattern for a minor scale is whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. So here we go. E major scale consists of the notes E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp. And the E minor scale has the notes E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. We know to build our basic triads from our scale, we use our root, our third, and our fifth for each note respectively. So let's go straight 1, 3, 5 from each scale and see what we come up with. Using the E major scale in the key of E major, we get an E, a G sharp, and a B for an E major chord. And using the E minor scale in key of E minor, we get an E, a G, and a B for an E minor chord. So let's see what other chords we can pull out of these scales to compare. We can grab an A major from our E major scale, an A, a C sharp, and an E. And we can grab an A minor from our E minor scale, an A, a C, and an E. We can also grab a B major from our E major scale, a B, a D sharp, and an F sharp. And a B minor from our E minor scale, a B, a D, and an F sharp. So hopefully you can see the pattern here where our root note and our fifth are the same note for each chord, regardless of whether it's major or minor. But our 3 note in the 1, 3, 5 of our minor chord is a flattened version of the 3 note in the 1, 3, 5 of our major chord. And indeed, it is commonly displayed this way on guitar posters and other chord illustrations. Now see, I write in a lot of minor keys, so I tend to think of it the other way around, where the 3 in our 1, 3, 5 of our major chord is a sharp version of the 3 in our 1, 3, 5 of our minor chord. To avoid any confusion, we can just say that a major chord is a root note, a perfect fifth, and a major third, and a minor chord is our root note, a perfect fifth, and a minor third. So there you go, major and minor chords explained. I mean, who knew changing one little note could do all that? Well, as always, been a pleasure hanging with you today. Now get out there, mash on some keys, pluck on some strings. You got some tunage to attend to. We'll see you later.